Good morning, it's Penny at Salt and Wool Studio, and today we're doing tutorial 10. And wow, I can't believe we're doing tutorial 10 already. So this one is on finishing the flowers in Ms. Warren's garden. And before I start that, I wanted to show you what I made last night. So I wanted some not so bright colors in the back of my rug in the flowers so I can get that depth. And I did not have any pale pastel-y colors. So I got thinking and I was like, well, you can't even buy the yellow here that I wanted. And and I don't want to spend money. Like, I'm really cheap at this stuff too. When I can be cheap, I'll be cheap. So I took a skein of white Briggs & Little that I have, and I went upstairs and I got the vinegar, grabbed a thing of food coloring, the type that you use to make icing. And I grabbed a bowl and I put a cup of vinegar and I filled it to about here with hot water, tap water. I didn't boil it, and it's not scalding, right? Just some hot tap water and vinegar, and I threw my skein in that for an hour. Actually, no. I broke down my skein first into these like different bits of wool that I wanted, right? Like each one is like this much. Like that's plenty. So I did that first, and then I threw them all in the vinegar water, and I let it sit for an hour. And then I said, okay, so let's start with yellow. So I took out some yellow dye, and I threw the dye into the hot water, and I swished it around, put these in with it, and I just mixy, just like this. This is all I did. And it wasn't even not 5 minutes, I don't think. It wasn't very long. And I just laid it all down in my sink. And I took this out and I rinsed it under the hot water so I didn't shock my wool. You can't use cold water. You got to keep the water temperature the same throughout. And like, this is perfect. Like, this wool, I don't know if you can see, it's beautiful. Like, there's nothing wrong with this. This is excellent. And I got the color that I wanted. And I did the same then. So then I took some more wool. I think I added one drop of red, the tiniest amount I could get out, and mixed it around again. And this is what I got. Actually, I did this one first, and it was just in and out. Like, it was very quick. And then I did this one, and I added a tiny bit more red. So I swished it first, got the color I wanted. Then I left a bottom in there, and I just put another drop of red into it. And see, so the bottom of my wool got pink. And then I did all these pink ones. So I added a little bit more red, and then I was getting these pretty pink colors. Right? Like this, beautiful. This one here, like, this was only in and out for a second, and I didn't want the top to get pink. So I have the top as white, see? Right? And it goes darker as it goes down. Like, you know, I just played with it. Like, I made all of these wools very, very cheaply. Like, this was very quick and easy thing to do. I did not fuss with putting it in the microwave. I did not fool around with using a stove or any of that. And like, very quick, very easy. And now today, when I'm working on my flowers, I have the beautiful pale colors that I wanted to make my flowers. So if you don't have the color you want, and if you happen to have a little bit of white, you can put the color in it very easily with a little bit of food coloring in your pantry if you have any. And that's all I did. Once I got the color that I wanted, I just laid it back in the bowl on some paper towel and let it dry. Like, I changed the paper towel, I think, twice because it absorbed the moisture out of the wool, and it was perfect. I mean, that's perfect. I got 9 shades, 9 different colors, really, for nothing. Like, $8 cost me for a skein of wool, right? And I used Briggs & Little bleached white. So if you're wondering what do you do there, that's what I used. And yeah, so, and now I dye as well, but I don't want to be fussing with that. And dyeing wool can get expensive. It really can. Like, I buy the Walmart dyes, I've ordered dyes online, I've done the acid dyes, all these different things. This is a very simple, cheap, easy thing to do. If you need a color on the spot and it's a faded, muted color, give it a go. That's all I can say. Anyway, so moving on. Now, so I've been working on my flowers, so let me show you what I got. This is, as you can see, quite a mess here right now, and it's even bigger mess back there. Don't look at that back there. Anyway, so I'm just deciding where I'm going to put my colors. Now, talking about and picking your colors, like, this looks like not great on the camera, but actually in person it does look good. Trust me. You'll have to trust me. Same thing with this yellow. It stands out a lot. Orange is not everyone's friend. It's a hard color to get to jive with other colors. So I'm only going with 2 orange flowers. And I decided that I'm actually going to trim my house with that orange, with like a duller orange, probably maybe this one here. I will do my house white and trim it with that. And maybe put a teal or some other color for the door, something that suits it. Because it's hard putting orange in a field. It is a hard color to get to maneuver. So my back flowers are going to be these 3 colors here. And that's just going to be for a couple of them. But I want you to see, like, I'm using more muted colors now. So I'm using those 2 and this one here. The mustardy color is going to be the center of my flower stem. I'm just going to throw that back there. I did some purple ones, and I changed my purple to the deep purples to using this lavender color with this wool. See that? So I muted it down a lot. And then I did my center with a little tiny bit of Malabringo in the purple. So I made it softer. So I'm looking at ways to make my colors much softer now going into the background. So this project is meant to be your fun rug, and so have fun with it. Like, experiment and try different colors and whatever. Like, once you put it in there, leave it in there. I'm even going to use some ribbon. For one of my back flowers, I'm going to go with some pastel-y pink color here I found. Like, this is pretty. And do a soft pink colored one. Next, I'm just going to hook this one in here now. This is one of my back flowers. And I'm going with this pretty pink color. So I just want to show you this flower that I'm working on here. And I'm using ribbon. I'm using ribbon. Like, you can use anything in your flowers. Like, this is ribbon. Like, it's cute. I like it. Yeah, so ribbon. So these were from my dyed wool, and they have white in them too. So that's kind of neat because now I can go to 2 colors. So I found this beautiful pink ribbon, and I'm going to use some of this again. Let's put that in there. That will be sweet. All right, that's our flowers done. Now let's have a look at what we have here. Oh my goodness, it's a mess, mess, mess. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so here are my flowers. Gorgeous, I'm loving them. So let's come back a little so you can see. Okay, now I'm going to start my leaves in the front. And I have this basket of colors and some things here. And my front, I'm going to use the lighter colors in my palette. So I'm going to trim with some dark. And then I'm going to use a little bit of this with it, I think. I'm going to save these richer, darker colors for up in the back of my rug, like this beautiful velour. So let's put this away. And, oh, there's a nice green. I forgot I had this one. Let's use that to start. So these were some noodles that from a previous project that I had. So there's a vein in the leaves in the front, so you follow your vein and trim out your leaves like you would. Oops. Too high. There we go. Okay, so I just finished outlining the leaves, and the next step now will be to fill them in. So I outlined all of my leaves in the front with a dark green, as you've seen, and I'm going to fill in the ones in the very front of my rug with a light green shades. So you need 2 light green shades to do those leaves in the front. I'm going to use some Rasta. That's another Malabringo yarn, lettuce it's called, I believe. Yep, lettuce. And Jackson Triggs, this one. And I'm also going to use this pretty green, see that beautiful color? This is just a velour. This was actually a Halloween costume I bought at the Goodwill. And it was like $1 or $2 maybe. And I shripped it up and put it in about a dozen rugs now. Like it's perfect for doing things. I hooked a fish with this. Like you can, yeah, so like the whole front of your rug, make sure your colors are light, like nice and bright light colors like these. And then as you go back, we're going to go to the darker colors. And what I'm going to fill in between my leaves, I was trying to think. I did find in my stash of stuff that I got carried away shopping and bought and never ever used. And I bought it because I loved it, but I don't really have a use for it. You ever have that? I don't know. But it's called Diana, and it's super bulky Rasta. This is it here. Like, can you see that? Like it is beautiful wool. Like it's all these different variegated colors, like very nice for doing meadows and stuff, right? So I started pulling apart one of these and really looking at it. There's some greens in here that I can probably get away with snip out pieces of. And I'm going to fill in around my leaves with some of this, I think. And some dark shades of velour, maybe. So that's my thought process there. As far as I got anyway. And right, in my outlining, I use this bit of wool cloth and a couple dark shades of green. So I use these two. So they were a bit darker than the greens I'm going to fill in with, see? So your leaves you're going to do in 2 colors inside. You're going to use 2 of your lighter colors. Light colors in the front of your rug, dark colors towards the back. And I'll show you what I mean. So here was my first one, and you see what I did? I hooked a light side, and I hooked, well, it's not really dark as such, it's just a different texture, right? So I did 2 different textures in the leaf. So I started this one here now, this leaf, and I'll do the same thing on this side. And I'll continue on across my rug with the different textures. So I just want to show you how I did my leaves. So you see I have the 2 tones, 2 tones, 2 tones. And over here now, I've got my leaves done, and I've started filling in around my leaves, like so. So let me move back so you can see. Do you see that? So I've started using this one here now, and I'm filling in around my leaves with it. And it's actually working out really well, even the colored parts, because it kind of mixes with this, right? It's still distinguishing, like you can still see the leaves in this. So I'm going to continue on using this Diana wool because it is working out lovely. It's a lot nicer than what I expected. I just took a chance and see. So yeah, I'm going to poke this all in through the front now around those leaves. So now I found this other wool, and it's got like greens and yellows in it. And I've been mixing that in amongst my front as well. And breaking up that Diana wool, this brightly colored one. So this is just another texture that I'm putting in here, in amongst the velour and the wools. Just a different color. And I'm filling in like the little pocket holes in the rug here now. I just want to show you the front of my rug as I got it all finished there now in the front. See, I've got a mix of color put in through with the leaves. And of course, the further back I move, the more prominent you'll see the leaves. See that? So now I am going to stop with this color all along here. See how I've just hooked it up amongst the tulips. Wherever these poppy flowers are to now, I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to go with darker colors, and I'll show you what I mean now. So I want my back flowers to be different than my tulips. And that's because if we hook this background the same as up here, it's all going to look like the same flower, just different shapes. By doing this darker colored background, it's going to give me the impression that it's a different type of flower. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm just putting in some darker green velour here first, and that's going to go right across the trim of all of the bottom color, background greens. And then I'm going to start mixing up some other green colors. So now I just want to show you what I've done. And I went with my dark green velour along the edge, and then I used that forest green color and I put that in amongst my flowers. I did not go to the top side of the flower on all of them, as you can see, right? So this makes the effect that the flower is sitting on top of the bush, right? See that? And now I'm going to fill in with some of this toffee, and this is a forest green, sorry. This one is forest green. So I'm not sure what this color is here, but it's a dark green. Let me just check and see. I think I have that up here in my wool stash. It is a, oh, it's dark green. It's called dark green. So let's shove that back in there and come back to my rug. So I have velour, dark green velour, dark green on top of that, and I put it in sections across here and down here like that. I just swiggle it in amongst everything here. Now I'm going in with this one, the forest green. That is going to fill in my little pockets across there. Okay, now I have my greens put in the back, like so. So now some of my flowers are sitting on top of the bush, and that makes it look like a bush more. See that? So let me just move back so you can have a good look. There we go, like so. Now, I just want to tell you something else too. I have 2 orange flowers. I needed to put a third orange, and I decided to leave the orange out of here as much as I can, but I wanted orange. So I'm going to trim my house with orange and do it in white and orange. So, yes, I just wanted to tell you about that because the orange in my house, and I have 2 other orange flowers, so having 3 oranges will give me that orange color triangle that I was looking for. Like all the other flowers have a color triangle in them. And it's not so hard to look at. Like orange in amongst the flowers is a hard color to work with, I find. So having it off separately gives me the orange that I want in the rug, and it makes it work better. So that's it. That's this tutorial. And now the next one I will do on how I hook my trees. So I just wanted to talk for a moment. I have received a lot of emails and messages on suggestions for tutorials of things people like to see. And so I am going to do some of those. I can show you what I know, and I don't know everything. I don't consider myself a teacher. I am an artist, and I have my style of hooking, and a lot of people like my style of hooking. So that's what I'm showing you, is the way that I hook. And so I don't know some things, like I don't know how to do detailed fine shading. That's not in my style of hooking. So I can show you what my style is, and that's what I'm doing. So yeah, so that's it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this tutorial, as always, let me know. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Please tell your rug hooking friends about me, and let's share and all learn together. Okay, thanks, and bye for now.